A simple girl pretended to be pregnant in order to force a scoundrel to marry her. But the very next second, her rival shoved her back a full meter. Ouch. The wealthy man, who had been observing the scene with cold detachment, experienced the most awkward moment of his life. The situation was already terribly uncomfortable as it was. Then the cheater suddenly stepped forward and praised her excellent acting skills, declaring that the $300,000 he had paid her hadn't gone to waste. Thanks to her, he had successfully rid himself of that annoying woman. The poor girl instantly understood everything. This entire farce. And she was merely an innocent victim. That day at your house, we were making a deal about a purchase. The young woman began to suspect she was being swindled. What kind of trousers cost $2 million? Her pockets were empty. She truly had no means to pay. To ensure she could finish university, her stepmother had lived in dire poverty. She wouldn't even buy herself new undergarments, instead wearing out the old ones that the girl had thrown away. But that perseverance was finally rewarded. At last, she secured a job as a general practitioner at a hospital. Upon hearing the news, her stepmother was more overjoyed than if she had won $10 million. I want to see my little girl. But on her very first day of work, she ran right into that same wealthy man. The young woman tried to flee, but he grabbed her by the arm, fearing a scene right there at the workplace. She led him out into the hallway and humbly promised to repay the money with her very first paycheck, but he wouldn't hear of it. Moreover, he certainly couldn't allow a woman like that to treat his brother. Hearing that he intended to report her to the administration, she panicked and began to beg him for mercy. Ever since an accident, his brother's mind and memory had been frozen at the age of 7. In his view, a person willing to do anything for money could not be trusted, and was certainly unworthy of caring for his precious brother. He could never have imagined that the girl's stepmother was his father's first love, the woman his father had remembered his entire life, and that she was also the girl's biological mother, whom the girl herself had never met. To make amends, the girl tried even harder, but she was met once again with a cold rebuke. I believe I told you not to go near my brother. He viewed her as a greedy gold digger and immediately produced a check to cover the cost of his trousers. Was he afraid that this man might take advantage of his brother? You have money of your own. In truth, Chayu didn't actually want the money. He simply didn't want this unreliable girl hovering around his brother and disrupting his peaceful recovery. But the simple girl turned out to be stubborn. Even if she had to take out a loan, she would repay this debt. The very next day, she brought in $2 million, down to the last penny, sincerely hoping to be forgiven. Gazing at this stubborn, earnest young woman, Jayu suddenly felt a pang of something and remembered what had actually happened that day. It was he who had ruined the trousers in the first place. Very well, then. Yet, just as the atmosphere began to thaw ever so slightly, a new crisis struck. One of the patients suffered an epileptic seizure. Left alone and unsupervised in his room, Jae-hae reached for a toy and accidentally knocked over a cup of hot coffee.